Most weirdest creatures in the world. The Venezuelan poodle moth is an, as yet unidentified moth, photographed in 2009 by Kyrgyzstani zoologist, Dr. Arthur Anker, in the Gran Sabana region of Venezuela. The name derives from comparing its physical appearance to a moth and poodle cross. The bizarre, white creature with bulging, black eyes and strange, brown antennae is a seeming blend between a large moth and a fluffy white poodle, but is in fact a real creature. They are generally not poisonous, and they do not bite human beings. The only time moths can be dangerous is if they contaminate food or destroy fabrics. So, most probably, poodle moths are not dangerous. The blue dragon, Glaucus Atlanticus, is a type of mollusk known as a nudibranch. Despite its impressive appearance, it rarely grows larger than 3 centimeters long. It can be found drifting on the surface of the Atlantic, Pacific and Indian Oceans in temperate and tropical waters. It is silvery gray on its dorsal side and dark and pale blue ventrally. It has dark blue stripes on its head. It has a flat, tapering body and 6 appendages that branch out into rayed, finger-like serrata. Serrata, also known as papillae, extend laterally from 3 different pairs of peduncles. The blue glaucus body features a type of coloration known as countershading. Its dorsal side is silvery gray, while the ventral area is dark and pale blue, and its head is covered with dark blue stripes. Barrel-eye fish, Macropinna Microstoma, also known as spookfish, are one of those deep-sea species that looks otherworldly. They've got transparent heads that reveal their eyes, brains, and other organs, making them a fascination of ocean scientists for generations. The barrel-eye fish is a deep-sea spookfish that is named so because it has barrel-shaped eyes capped with lenses that are green. The eyes are not the only peculiar thing about this fish. They are known for having a transparent head that fills with fluid, and they are able to direct their eyes to see upward and forward. The barrel eye gets its name from the pair of tubular eyes embedded in its transparent head. It looks something like a deep ocean submarine with a large glass window. But this bizarre physical trait is actually an astute hunting tool that illuminates the abyss in which the barrel eye lurks. The Mekong River Irrawaddy dolphins inhabit a 118-mile stretch of the river between Cambodia and Lao People's Democratic Republic and are scarce. Just 92 individuals are estimated to still exist. These dolphins have a bulging forehead, short beak, and 12 to 19 teeth on each side of both jaws. The Irrawaddy dolphin has an instantly recognizable, charismatic rounded face and head with no beak. They look like baby belugas, only with a dorsal fin. Irrawaddys have expressive faces thanks to their movable lips and have creases around their necks as they are able to move their heads in all directions. Unlike any other dolphin, the Irrawaddy's U-shaped blowhole is on the left of the midline and opens towards the front of the dolphin. Its short beak appears very different from those of other dolphins, and its mouth is known for having 12 to 19 peg-like teeth on each side of the jaws. It belongs to the family Tenrecidae in the order Afrosauricida, and more specifically to the subfamily of the spiny Tenrex tenrecini. Its natural habitats are in tropical lowland rainforests in northern and eastern parts of Madagascar. It is very closely related to the highland streaked tenrec. The lowland streaked tenrec looks kind of like a mix between a shrew and a hedgehog. Its backside is covered with quills and fur, while its underside is covered in a soft hair. True to its name, the lowland streaked tenrec has 4 yellow streaks running the length of its body. Newborn lowland tenrecs lack spines, starting to develop them during the first day after birth. The streaked tenrec is the only mammal species practicing stridulation. This is when an animal rubs together parts of its body to give out a sound. This technique is more common for insects and snakes. The Sunda flying lemur, Galeopterus variegatus, also known as Sunda Colugo, Malayan flying lemur and Malayan colugo, is a colugo species. It is native throughout Southeast Asia, ranging from southern Myanmar, Thailand, southern Vietnam, Malaysia to Singapore and Indonesia. Generally they are mottled gray or green-gray in color, but some specimens are reddish to yellowish-orange. During the day they rest high in the trees, clinging to trunks or hiding in tree holes. Although they are called flying lemurs, the colugos are not lemurs and do not fly. Instead, they glide as they leap among trees. They are the most capable gliders of all gliding mammals. A fur-covered membrane, called a patagium, connects to the face, paws, and tail. Blue parrotfish are mainly blue with a yellow spot on their head that fades as they get older. Their teeth are fused together, giving them a beak-like jaw, somewhat resembles the beak of a parrot, thus its common name. The beak is used for scraping algae from rocks and other rocky surfaces. Parrotfishes are elongated, usually rather blunt-headed and deep-bodied, and often very brightly colored. They have large scales and a characteristic bird-like beak formed by the fused teeth of the jaws. The blue parrotfish has a wide range and is abundant in much of that range, some of which is in marine conservation areas. Although larger individuals are targeted by fishermen, the population of this fish seems to be stable overall. For these reasons, the IUCN has listed this fish as being of least concern. The northern glass frog, or Fleischmann's glass frog, is a small tree frog that averages between 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches, 20 to 32 millimeters, in length. The name glass frog is derived from the white, translucent skin on its belly, where the frog's beating heart and other organs are visible. Viewed from above, most glass frogs appear light green. Their patterning ranges from uniform green to green with white to yellow spots that mimic glass frog eggs. Glass frogs have expanded digit tips that aid in climbing, and this trait allows most to live in trees or shrubs along forest streams. This frog can slowly climb trees using its sticky webbed feet and jumps away from predators in one jump that may be up more than 10 feet, 3 meters, long. Instead of a croaking sound, it makes a high-pitched whistling sound to attract a mate. If it survives predators' attacks, it can live from 10 up to 14 years. A relative of the mongoose, the faucet is unique to the forests of Madagascar, an African island in the Indian Ocean. Growing up to 6 feet long from nose to tail tip and weighing up to 26 pounds, the faucet is a slender-bodied cat-like creature with little resemblance to its mongoose cousins. A small cavity or depression, as in a bone. A cat-like carnivorous mammal, Cryptoproctopherox, of Madagascar, having reddish-brown fur, a long tail, long whiskers, and retractile claws. Anatomy: a cavity, pit, or small hollow. At first glance, a fossa looks like some kind of cat, monkey, or weasel. It has paws with claws like a cat, a long tail like a monkey, and round little ears like a weasel, so it's easy to be confused. Although it shares some adaptive similarities with cats, the faucet is closely related to the mongoose and civet. Though these black and white insects are part of a group called velvet ants, these pandas are actually Chilean wasps. With a fuzzy black and white body, white head, and black ringed eyes, the panda ant's resemblance to the iconic Chinese bear is uncanny. While these ants are also known as cowkiller ants, the stings of these species cannot kill anyone. It's actually one of the harvester ants that can kill a mammal that weighs around 2 pounds with 6 stings. However, the sting of the panda ant can be quite painful. Panda ants live up to their name by sporting a coat of fur that makes them resemble the pandas that we are all familiar with. Despite their common name, these insects are not ants. Instead, these insects are actually wasps. The tufted deer is a small species of deer characterized by a prominent tuft of black hair on its forehead and fawn-like canines for the males. It is a close relative of the muntjac, living somewhat further north over a wide area of central China and northeastern Myanmar. Tufted deer are herbivorous species. Their diet mainly consists of leaves, twigs, fruit, and different types of vegetation. Tufted deers are considered both grazers and browsers. This means they feed on both grass and other various vegetation. Like antlers in other deer, deer fangs are mostly used as weapons by competing males vying for territories and access to breeding females. Most of these deer are also very tiny and only grow to about 2 to 3 feet high. The Honduran white bat, also called the Caribbean white tent-making bat, is a species of bat in the family Philostomatidae. It is the only member of the genus Ectophylla. The genus and the species were both scientifically described for the first time in 1892. It is unique to all bats in that it has a distinctive, completely white fur which occurs in only 3 of well over 1,300 species of bat. The Honduran white bat is now categorized as near threatened because its population is steadily decreasing. The primary reason for the decline is loss of habitat as agriculture and urban development continue to spread. The Japanese spider crab is a species of marine crab that lives in the waters around Japan. It has the largest leg span of any arthropod. It goes through 3 main larval stages along with a prezoal stage to grow to its great size. The genus Macropinna contains multiple species. Spider crabs travel in groups, blanketing ocean floors and even stacking on top of one another. They also go through mass molting rituals, where they emerge good as new, leaving behind their old shells like a field of bones. And, it turns out, they're pretty friendly. Although not endangered, these crabs are considered a delicacy in Japan, which leaves populations vulnerable. Accordingly, Japan has banned their harvesting during their spring mating season to defend against overconsumption.